Yo, what's good? It's your boy Skolla, and as some of y'all may know, I had a group called GAnG. Back in 2007, we formed it. It was on MySpace. It was me, Skolla, Chris the VP, T-Mac, J Smiles. Now the group is no longer together, and there's only one reason why. It's an issue between me and Chris the VP. I would say his rap name now, but he changes it a lot, like every year when he doesn't do anything. So I'm not gonna say his new rap name that he has now because he might change it. So it's Chris the VP, Chris Martinez. Now, our ex-fan, I guess, because GAnG is no longer together, went to his Instagram and asked him what was the reason why we went separate ways. And he told a fucking lie. He said it was creative differences. Now, fucking right hand on the Bible, right hand on fucking anything. We never had any situation. If you go back to the GAnG songs, all those songs were mine. I made the songs, put them on them. There was no way we could have creative differences. Not with videos, not with songs, not with... I did everything regarding GAnG. And they just followed. So there was no way we could have creative differences. I'm going to tell you the real reason why GAnG is no more. Back in early 2010, Chris was talking to a girl named Jen via Facebook. Did he meet her? Did he not? I don't fucking know. I just know he was in the friend zone at that point. When he knew that there was no way out of that friend zone, he advised me to talk to her. I did it. Got her number the first day off of Facebook. The next following day, went to go pick her up at her house. And I'm going to say 3 main things that she told me in our conversation at night that you need to remember for what I'm going to say later. 1, she said, that nigga Chris is ugly. 2, she was using that nigga just to smoke her up. And 3, she was using them to get rides out the house and because she was bored or whatever. She didn't want to be home or whatnot. Then she gave me head. Flat out, point blank. The next day, I went out to go shoot music videos with J Smiles. And you could ask J Smiles. He's not a liar the last time I spoke to him. So he's going to confirm this. The next day, went to go shoot videos with J Smiles. We were at Arby's having lunch. She calls me up. I pick up the phone. She wanted to see me. She was whack to me. I did not want to see Jen again. I had no interest in her. Me and Smiles made a joke about it. Boom, hanged up. Laughed it off. It didn't even fucking occur to me that this would come back in any sort of way because I've done it many times before with girls. So anyways, about a week and a half later go by, I leave to Ecuador. I go on vacation. Not even a month goes by, Chris hits me up on Facebook saying that he got the girl Jen pregnant. Now, mind you, he said he's ugly, uses him for weed, and uses him as a ride to get out of the house when she's bored. I said this. You can ask him what. He's a fucking liar now. I don't know what happened to this guy, but I said simply this. Nigga, this shit is going to destroy the group. He said, why? I said, I chilled with her. That's all I said. He knows how I get down. This isn't the like even before this, there was a fucking another girl where Chris tried to fucking take her out to dinner and whatnot. And I fucked her the first night I met her, so he already knew where I was coming from. I didn't have to say no more, nigga. Like when you're best friends, you guys speak a fucking different language. Left it at that. Came from Ecuador back to Texas, moved back up north to Jersey. The girl's still pregnant. I remember it was 2011 when I came back. We had a party and shit. Met the girl. I told her just flat out this. It was just me and her. I said, it was what it was, and now it is what it is. She said, cool. Thought nothing of it. At this point, I really thought Chris knew what happened. I thought he knew and it didn't bother him. Which it shouldn't have because it happened before him. That's what I thought. Time goes by. Fucking she gives birth. I see the change in that attitude where she notices I'm around a lot. or not even I'm around a lot. He's around a lot with me. And then the shit starts coming into play where he starts asking me what happened. I don't answer him. I'm like, dog, who gives a fuck? What happened? It is what it is, man. Just leave it alone. He asked it once or twice. I told him it is what it is. He leaves it alone. Now, some girl I was dating, which I'm not going to mention because she's out of my life, kind of brings up the situation a little bit more because she feels that Chris needs to know for some odd fucking reason, which I agree with too. He needs to know. Thought he knew. I thought it was like an unspoken thing. Like, yo, nigga, you know what happened? And that's what it was. Who gives a fuck? Now, thinking back on it, and at the time when I was thinking, I was like, this is gonna get worse. This is gonna get worse because she's getting madder and madder that I even exist. Because obviously, at the end of the day, you don't suck a nigga's dick and then go fuck his best friend with no condom. There has to be some other motive in your mind. I asked my boy Jay Smiles at the time, dog, should I tell him flat out? Because he knows he just wants to hear me say it, or does he want me to say that it didn't happen? I asked Jay Smiles. Jay Smiles fucking doesn't give me any advice. He just fucking takes it in and whatever. Later I found out Jay Smiles did tell him. Which, on my end, I became an idiot and I got mad at Smiles for telling Chris. Because I wanted to tell him. It was my thing to tell him. I was just stalling. So maybe, Smiles, thank you. Maybe if you didn't do that, I would have never flat out I told him. Because at the end of the day, I felt bad, man. Felt bad. Really bad that this was happening to Chris. Because for people who don't know, Chris's whole life has been like this, man. Like, every girl he's ever tried to get has been somebody else's sloppy seconds, so to say. For me to be like, this nigga finally has a kid, and his baby mother just so happens to be my sloppy seconds, I did not want that burden on me. But there was no way around it. On top of that, later to find out after Smiles tells him, he lets me in that Jen said we never met. Never met, never picked her up, never anything. And Smiles is the one that fucking tells Chris that that's a lie. Because he was there that day at Arby's when she fucking called. I knew where she lived. I told him. It was fucking confirmed by Chris that that's where she lived. Now what do you think if a girl lies about even meeting the nigga? At that point in time is when I seen the change in Chris. He knew the girl was trying to hide something, and he knew what had happened because Smiles told him, and I was like, I got mad at Smiles. Me and Smiles had a little fight over it. That was the end of it. Never really spoke about it. He got distant as fuck, as if it was my fault. Distant as fuck. Never saw the kid. Mind you, when his kid was born, it was only 2 people there. Me, Smiles. Nobody else stood the whole night. All his boys that he takes pictures with now on Instagram flat out told him they weren't going to come to the hospital. One of them niggas was playing fucking Xbox while the baby was born. He just didn't want to come. His boy that I'm not going to say any names because they really had nothing to do with the situation, but I'm trying to paint the picture of how close me and this nigga was because I was there the entire time. His kid was being born. I was there. Me and nigga, I dragged Smiles there because Smiles wanted to go home and sleep. I was there. Now, I would say he is my brother, but the way he became and the way he turned, maybe he doesn't feel like that anymore because we have yet to have a real conversation about, yes, this happened, how do we move on? Because every conversation after this, which is about 2 or 3, like 2 on the phone and 1 in person, has been, did it happen? Did it happen? Did it happen? He doesn't want to tell his friends what happened. How is he going to feel as a man to walk around and be like, damn, Skolla, my baby mom sucked your dick? Every day he wakes up, he has to look at her. Every day he wakes up, he has to see a kid. I understand what his issue was, but the fucking reason why I stood quiet for 3.5 years over this is because of this. But when you fucking post on a social media website, even though, like, I don't know that. I'm really not trying to be comical about this because I'm being dead serious, but you don't have any fans. Like, you have your sister, your baby mother, and Smiles who likes your Instagram pictures, and Matt sometimes when he's not weeded the fuck out. That's the only 4 people who like your shit. So when this one fan that we have who loved her gang and everything, and you fucking flat out lie to her and say we had creative differences, nigga, I have to do this. Because you know what? We don't talk no more at all because of this. Because, one more time, the girl you currently have a kid with sucked my dick before you got with her. Now somebody please explain to me how that is my fault. And voila, that's why her gang is no more. Street Skolla. Peace.